Thank you. Ja, we doen dit in Engels because omdat ik Nederlands niet kan goed fietsen. I'm here to sort of, part of what I'm going to demonstrate tonight is going to be that we will need some electronic measuring in football in the future. That will be definitely something that I will demonstrate to you people, you good people who have come here tonight. I think that's very important because sometimes it means you will not lose by as much as you were going to lose. And I think it's very important for the self-respect of the people that you might meet. So, I do press on. There's a secondary part to my speech, almost as important, which is the infection by antivirulent from the Latin aviru, meaning bad bacteria in plant leaves. Now, we've all seen plant leaves. We've walked on, some of us touched them as we walked along, without realizing these bacteria can infect us. Now we see a table here. I don't need to explain to you what these symbols mean. But obviously, the baseball defense. This is exactly the sort of defense that England should have played today. Instead of the old clambering around the middle defence, which doesn't seem to work, the basic defence, which of course we all know is what plants use to fight infection. And that's how plants can be used to enhance football. I would like to point one more thing out. Bacteria suspended in 0.2 millimicro magnesium chloride solution at OD. This is important, people. I will be answering questions on that at the end. I think this table speaks for itself. We all know the important things in our day. The most important thing that we will ever face is the IRLS. I really like soccer. We're using the word soccer as Americans can understand. Everyone in the world knows what that word means, even though most people in the world think the word is wrong. The word is football. But this table explains to the three types of people: the A's, the people who have never really heard of football; the H's, that's the anti-football; the H, the heroes, these are the people who play football; and the M's are the people, the masses, the people who watch and support football. But all of them, you will notice that I really love soccer is important to their lives, not on just a 2 HPI level, not just on a 4 HPI level, but 6 HPI level, maximum possible HPI you can get. Three plants, identical looking to the ordinary person on the street, but of course scientists such as ourselves will easily spot out the fact that this one over here in the top right hand corner has a kind of longer leaf than other ones. We pointed out 2 interesting leaves on each of them. This configuration here is known as 1/4 to 2. This one is 10 to 7. And this one is called 11. Why is that important? Because these are the times of day when plant bacteria is at its most dangerous. And it also happens to be the times at various points in the world where 3 of the 4 German goals were scored. Interesting facts. Compare it with these 2 plants here. These are the maximum, you see, 6 HPI at the maximum. A people are people, as you remember, who people who don't know what football is. These people aren't as green as the rest of us. They're paling. Look. Because we're all green inside. If a ball comes towards us, we'll miss it. Only I get the reference. The only people in the room ever get the reference. But you see, A's at the maximum. These are also A's, but these are not the maximum. This will explain why. Because A's at the maximum, which of course when the weight height of infected compared to the non-infected half leaf. Infected, non-infected, that's easy enough. But here we see the maximum. Here, this is where the A's are. That's where they're the least green. This is why it's represented by a dark purple line. When this is the lower A's. When it goes up here to the maximum, this is at a 36. There's a 36 on the scale of, as you can see, dot, which, as you know, 36 is 36. 6 is a 36. So this actually corresponds to 6 HPI, using a 6 times scale, which clearly states that the lower leaves will be less green than the upper leaves because of this. I think that's clear. Here we can see the football of the future. Played by 3 teams, wearing 3 different colours. 3 different formations. This is 2, this is the lowest number, 2 HPI. You know, there's a little bit of sort of spurring around. Over here, this is a lot better because the greens have gone on the attack a little bit more over towards the goal in this corner, because there'll be a goal in 3 of the 4 corners in advanced super football. And here, 6, you see that everyone is just clumping together, so it's clear that it's a lot better at 4 because of, you can't see it, but there's a little clump of 4 A's really together. I think they're bringing the love back into football, but they're being careful not to touch each other's leaves, because that's how you get a virulent infection. I think the next slide will make it clear why football and plants are united, and actually the same thing on many levels. These green things represent plants. These blue things, these are blue, the dark blue, these represent British football players, English football players. These ones represent German football players. We can see 3 possible attack methods, but it's clear that these, to go this way would just mean that everyone would lose their colour. Which would make everyone the same, which would make the sport a really impossible sport to understand. Plus, if the plants have no colour, how can we tell people from plants? Clearly, if we go upwards, there is some colour still remains on the outside. If we happen to go up too far, people become just crosses. Which, as we all know, is a symbol for grave. We die. And here are 3 possible ways to die. So we start over here in Nulda, which I believe is in a German forest. We start with the Negel, go for the Neger, to the Puzzle, to the Posh. We can see that this is a kind of gentle way to die. It's kind of Here we're in the random forest, which is somewhere in Middle Earth. It's a bit more extreme. And then we're up to the posh. And finally, Svum, which is a small lake in Sweden. We see the most extreme death possible. Of course, but you notice that if you just take the points on the left, you have the smoothest possible death. That is the irony of the extreme Swedish death. If you were to sample the first word that I said when I came up, do you remember what the first word was it when I said I came up here?
Suspended bacteria.
Suspended bacteria, exactly. If you feed that into a computer, getting one of those little speech processing things, this is what you get. And it's interesting, because I put numbers on the high spikes here to point out some important things. Remember what I said again?
Suspended bacteria.
Suspended. 169 is remember that? Suspended. If I give you all these numbers, if you take all these numbers together, divide it by the 6 for the HPI, and the 6 for the A, and the 6 for the H, minus the 1, because that's what the scale is, you get 9, which is what this slide is. Finally, I'd like to end with, well, really, it brings us back to the beginning, the whole poison problem with the antivirulent bacteria from plants, you can see what can happen if you take cardboard boxes, glue two of them on top of each other, put a spring at one end and a spring at the other end, spend a lot of them in 4 different rooms, side by side, and start bouncing them. This is a snapshot of that, people. And it's by putting plants in these things that we can eliminate the bacteria in them, and we can train the next generation of English soccer players. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Well, I personally believe Professor wrote a little bit too quick with the value of the micromagnesium chloride. It wasn't, you pointed out it was at 600, and
yes.
I think everybody should know that it's pretty high value, and that is a little bit, 400 is regarded as the max, so I would like to see your point of view on that, please.
Well, 600 is way over the max. It's 50% more than the max, yes. Well, my view is you're completely correct. It is bad. Yes.
There's a debate on our university whether to use which cutoff points for the HBI. So you chose 2, 4, and 6, and I argue that we would use 5, 10, and 15. What's your stance on that?
You use 5, 10, and 15
yes.
instead of 2, 4, and 6? Well, I actually use, is the football chant, what's your numbers again?
5, 10, and 15.
5, 10, 15. No one shouts at the full match. 5, 10, 15. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we really hate? Usually it's the referee. And if that seems to be it for questions, I'd like to thank you very much and present you back to our host.